Welcome to another preview here on the Talking Blues YouTube channel. Chelsea, Leeds United, coming up on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, where we are 3 p.m. UK time, where you're watching this. Maybe you're not watching it there. Wherever you're watching it, we hope you enjoy the Chelsea match come when we're recording this, at least tomorrow. Josh here with my co-host Peter. Alex is unable to join us for this preview. So I guess I'll just go to Peter and ask, how are you doing on this fine afternoon? Got out of school early today. That was nice. So we're recording this at a nice 2:30 time. But yeah, how are you?
I am doing well. It is nice. Obviously, school getting out early is nice. Get to record it early, get it out of the way, have the rest of the day free. All works out well. Excited for the game this weekend. I think Leeds are without a bunch of their good players. I might have just stolen something you were going to talk about. Whoops. But they are supposed to be without a lot of their good players. So hopefully we can use this as kind of a get right game. Excited to preview it.
I am as well, Peter. No, you did not steal it. So, I mean, if you want to even go through the Leeds players individually, because I just have like the Chelsea updates when it comes to injury news.
I would, but I have no idea. I think Bamford might miss out. Rafinha might miss out, and there's two other players too, or maybe three other players. I don't know, but of a good chunk of their solid players.
So if you want, I'll give you a few seconds or minutes, and you can kind of just take a look at that. You can like go on your phone, just check it out. Let me know, give me an update, because I will now give my Chelsea injury news update while you do that. So I'll save you some time here. So let's start out with a quote from Thomas Tuchel saying, "Unfortunately, for many weeks, we are without N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic, but now without Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek was out after the warm-up." Okay, so we took that quote in. I believe that was from a few days ago. And now there's two really big things that came out, but one most important thing. Well, first of all, we're hoping to see Mateo Kovacic out with COVID-19 back next Thursday against Everton. That's the first piece of news. Okay, so if everything goes well with his recovery from COVID-19, he should be back then. That's one. Two, I think Tuchel said that he's hoping to get Conte back in training next Tuesday. I want to say was the exact date that he was indicating for that. The third most important thing, which, I mean, Peter, we'll have to judge it whether we think it's good or not. Jorginho is going to be playing through his back pain. That was a big piece of news that came out from Thomas Tuchel. Now, I don't know if it would have been a different thing if N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic was healthy. So I don't know if he's doing this to help out the team when we're very low on midfielders, or if he would have done this no matter what happened because he wants to play, he wants to start, whatever it is. So I want to ask you now then, your thoughts on everything, but more specifically what you think about this statement now coming from Thomas Tuchel that Jorginho is going to be playing through this back pain that he's been having the past few weeks.
Well, it boils down to one thing for me, and that's that he trusts like a 50, 60, 70% Jorginho over a 100% completely fine Saul. I think this just shows that he kind of like lost his patience. He saw the performance against Zenit and was like, no, we cannot have this. And so I don't know if it's rushing, because I think it's probably not that much of a injury kind of thing. We can re-injure it, hopefully not, at least. And it's just kind of a thing that's going to be nagging him, which obviously isn't ideal, because I feel like you don't want to make excuses for him, but you could say that could have been why he had a bad game at West Ham, and which means he could play bad against Leeds. But like I said, a 50% Jorginho that has a bad game by his standards is still 100% better than Saul and having to see him in the middle of the park.
I also want to mention that Loftus-Cheek is expected to play this weekend against Leeds, so that could affect our lineup. So we'll have to see. We don't know each other's lineups. We don't like, or at least I don't like, putting them out there to each other before we record. So it's a element of surprise, like putting Reece James at left wing back and seeing the responses from my co-host didn't work out so well. Although he was close, he was in the midfield. Okay, he slide him a little bit more to the left. It would have been left wing back, but yeah, no, it was not right. I tried. I gave it a shot. Okay, whatever. Peter, do you have like those injury updates regarding Leeds United?
Yeah. So Rodrigo's been out for a bit, and he's supposed to still be out. And then Bamford and Phillips, two of their arguably Leeds' best players, both suffered hamstring injuries when they played on Sunday, and they're both doubts. So that's obviously good for us because they're both important players for them. So if they're both out, that just gives us a better chance to win.
And especially with our injuries too. So you got to factor that in, both injured sides, which one is going to prevail at the end of the day. So let's go into this more specifically. We have the win probability. Chelsea coming in at 78% of a win here, 14% of a draw, and 8% of a Leeds United victory there. Moving into the table, Chelsea, because they dropped the points from the West Ham loss, was that a week ago now, or was that earlier in the week? I'm losing track of my dates. I think it was last weekend. And so Chelsea now sit in third due to that loss, with Liverpool 1 point ahead of them in second with 34 points, and Man City in first with 35. Chelsea in third with 33, their last 5 being 1 loss, 2 wins, 2 draws. Leeds United, you got to go all the way to 15th to find where they are at 16 points. Their last 5 have been 3 draws, 1 loss, and 1 victory. So let's go to our lineup predictions. How about that? I'm going to go with my normal Thomas Tuchel 3-4-2-1, starting in the back with Mendy in net, and then Christensen, Silva, Rudiger. Christensen and Malang Sarr were the pairing really in the back line, and it didn't seem like they worked very well together, at least in the first half, and all the chances and the 2 goals that it led to for Zenit was not exciting stuff, was not fun. Good job by Kepa, honestly, just keeping Chelsea in that game for the most part. But Silva and Rudiger getting the rest, so you got to hope that they're fit and they're 100% ready to go for this weekend's matchup, and I think that's why Tuchel rested them. You got to try and rest everyone you can. I remember you said that, Peter, in our preview to the Zenit match, so that's what Tuchel did. Christensen, Silva, Rudiger, my back 3.
I agree with you. Like you just said, I said, we wanted to get them some rests because obviously hectic schedule, a lot of games. You want to, as many chances as you can, as many times, give them some rest, make sure they don't pick up any injuries. Rudiger, Silva, Christensen, obviously Mendy also got a rest. Tuchel said he's going to be back for this game. I think he'll start too. I don't think you actually said that, but I'm assuming you'll have Mendy in net because Mendy's better than Kepa. Although Kepa, like you said, did look impressive. He definitely kept us in the game enough for us to win before us then losing the game. Well, not losing the game, drawing the game, but whatever.
It feels like a loss because we didn't win the group out. Yeah,
exactly. It was not the result we wanted. That's what you can say. And then I'll just go to my midfield. I don't know how confident Tuchel is in having a somewhat injured Loftus-Cheek in the midfield. I don't know whether he'd put Reece James there again, or he'd maybe drop Mason Mount in there, or drop like Ross Barkley even maybe in there, or Ziyech played there for a bit during the Zenit game. So there's a lot of options that aren't really all 6s, which is I think what he prefers. But I think we'll go Reece James at right wing back. I think he moves back to his more natural position. I think he just works better in our game plan there. He's just more dangerous there. Jorginho will go back into the middle because I think we just need him, even if he's not 100%. And I will have Loftus-Cheek in there, though I wouldn't be surprised to see probably one of Mason Mount or Hakim Ziyech play alongside him. I think he doesn't want to play Saul at all. I just think he was wanting to avoid it, and that's why he's rushing back to Jorginho. So Loftus-Cheek will be in there. And then, unfortunately, Marcus Alonso will be left wing back, which is arguably worse than Saul, even though Saul at left wing back was also not good. Left wing back is just a terrible position for us.
And you were gonna, I think you already did it, but the Christensen, Silva, Rudiger back line is your back 3. Yeah, okay. So then I'll go to my midfield. And it's funny you say that. I have James Alonso, left wing back, right wing back pairing. Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho as well in the midfield. Both of these players heading into this game, though, as injured players, and we expect them both to be in our midfield. So it's a little risky. It's not for our score predictions, but even if they do start, which is highly likely, those are 2 players that either have been injured or one of them playing on an injury right now. It's interesting you say that, Peter, because I could flip-flop between Loftus-Cheek and Saul in the midfield, but if you really think Tuchel is that hesitant, then I could see that and have him play a more attacking midfielder in a central midfield role. I just think, Saul is still there, so he's still going to have to play him. And it seems like, I don't know. Let's just say Atletico's not going to want him back super fast. I think they're very much happy with him just staying on our bench for right now. So I don't know. We might see Tuchel throw him in as a sub, but yes, James, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Alonso. That's my midfield. On to the attacking three. Let's go with the two. Up front, Mason Mount and the man who scored 2 goals against Zenit on fire right now, and that is Timo Verner. I mean, what else to say besides, again, I said in the recap episode, but nothing less than fabulous. That second goal was, and it should have been the winner if it wasn't for this Chelsea defense again, and Zenit pushing and getting the last goal, whatever you want to say. I also just realized when I was talking that I didn't even address what happened last episode. Basically, I wanted to incorporate like a highlight reel into the video of the recap episode for Zenit, so we did so, and unfortunately, it did get copywritten, so there was no recap episode, but it is still everywhere you want to listen. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, shipstudios.com/talkingblues. Find all the links to listen to that. So it's out, just not here on YouTube. For the remainder of episodes, we will not make that mistake, and hopefully nothing will be copywritten, and all the recap episodes will be on YouTube as well as audio platforms. But unfortunately, this one did get stricken, whatever, copywritten. I don't know what you want to call it. So just listen to it on all your other platforms. And that's where you can hear our recap for that. But I did say on there, Werner, absolute brilliant, wonderful goal. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my man up front, Romelu Lukaku. Did he really do that much against Zenit? No, but he's the big man. He's the man we paid all that money for. And when he started playing in the beginning of the season in like September-ish, he was absolutely on fire. I'm waiting for him to get back to that. But since the injury, we're easing him back. Tuchel didn't really play him. He's been easing him back. And we can tell that from how many times he's come off the bench in the final few minutes of matches. Now it was 65th minute, bring him in, or now it's starting him. So hopefully he gets to that stretch of scoring goals. But for right now, we have Timo Verner to do so. So hopefully he'll get one in this match. But anyway, Mount, Werner, Lukaku, my front three. Peter, go ahead.
I have 2 points here. One, I love hearing this Timo Werner praise. I don't know if you're from the YouTube channel, you probably wouldn't know, but Josh has been he's been a Timo hater since we first bought him. He always hates on him whenever he does anything badly at all, and never gives him any praise when he does anything good, except for now. On the rare occasion, he needs to score like a hat trick to receive any praise at all. But I mean, he's on fire right now. Like you said, he scored a great goal, should have been the winner. Hopefully he can keep that up. Well, maybe hopefully he doesn't keep that up, and Lukaku instead scores all the goals and he gets back into goal scoring form, because we know Timo is already there. But hopefully he scores the goals, gets a win. I have him starting with Lukaku, like I said, and then Mason Mount, which brings me to my second point. I think this is the first time in a while we've had like a lineup fully in agreement. I don't think we've had any players that were different, which is crazy. I don't think that usually doesn't happen, especially considering the depth that we have. So many players, like especially in attack. But I mean, clearly we're both confident in this lineup if we both agree that Tuchel should do this, and that's what he's going to do.
You want me to switch James and Alonso? I can put Alonso back at
put James in the midfield, put Lukaku right wing back, and then put Reece James striker. There we go.
No, I you know what's funny, Peter? I do find it very interesting that Chelsea fans, though, in the UK and at Stamford Bridge, I repeatedly hear it on the broadcast is that they really do support Timo Verner like a lot. And I would think they would be fed up with him at this point. And it comes from different sporting, I guess, aspects. As us fans in the US, I feel like the UK is very strict and harsh fans wise too. But I just think like maybe because it's like we're American fans, maybe that's a difference. But like in the sports that we watch, we don't give our players time to develop, right? As you know, as a Boston sports fan, if anyone watching this knows about sports, I'm a New York sports fan. Peter's a Boston sports fan, and all of those teams. In those areas, no one cares about development. If you're bad, we're going to say you're bad. We're going to say how bad you are, and we're not going to use nice words to describe how bad you are, whether that is you're bad for 1 game or you're bad for 20 games. So maybe it comes from just the perspective that I am of a New York sports fan and watching my players on teams here in America be unsuccessful. And it's me and everyone else saying, oh, they need to be gone, whatever. And maybe when I carry that over to Timo Verner, maybe it's because just that's in my roots. In like, if a player doesn't succeed, we need to get rid of him. And I'm just not thinking about the long term because it seems like that's what Chelsea fans are doing. So I don't know. That's just a perspective that I thought of. That could very well be the case. On to the score prediction. A 2-0 victory for Chelsea. So I don't want to steal your flow there with whatever I think you're going to go with, Peter. A little preview to that. I'm going to go a 2-0 win for Chelsea, though. I think we're able to bounce back from yet another draw. I think we can get into the win column and hopefully go 2 and I don't know about 1, but let's hopefully hop in front of Liverpool, although I don't see Man City or Liverpool losing their matches this weekend. But let's get a win ourselves, and then we can worry about the others.
A bit of a surprise to you. I'm actually changing it up. I'm not going 3-0. I feel like the 3-0 has been losing its juice slightly. It hasn't been working as successfully as it was. We're switching it up. We're going to do a real prediction here. I think it'll be 2-1. I want to say clean sheet, but our defense hasn't been that good as of late. I think they can steal a goal somewhere on a counterattack, somewhere where one of our defenders is out of position. Something leads to another, they steal a goal. But I do think we can score 2. I think our attack's been better as of late. We also have Timo Verner, who's really on form. And then we know what all our other attacking players can do we just know what they can do. They can score, which means I think Lukaku would get a goal, and I have to say Timo will continue his goal scoring form. Yeah, it's required of me as a Timo Werner fanboy.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. But yeah, Timo Verner can slot in another one here. And with that, we hope you enjoy the match this weekend. Obviously, we'll be back, like I said, for another recap. December rolls on. More Chelsea matches are played. And another, I want to say, midweek clash. Yeah, not midweek. Thursday against Everton. But we will have a recap. And then just right back on here as you're watching, as I stick my hand out to you, YouTube audience. We'll be back for another preview next week for the Chelsea-Everton match. But yeah, stay tuned for the recap. Probably this weekend after the match. Anyway, subscribe, drop a like. So again, all of the audio platforms, Talking Blues of Chelsea FC podcast. We are on Twitter and TikTok at Talking Blues Pod and shipstudios.com/Talking Blues. I said it already. That link takes you to all the places you can listen. And for Peter, I'm Josh. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.